Friends of Fathers. Our company is a men's life coach, and our motto is about strengthening men and empowering fathers. I say strengthening men because a lot of men have not gone through the process. And if you haven't gotten the proper help. Some of the guys have said they haven't gotten the proper help. So we're going to talk about that as well. This webinar, I want everyone to understand this, pass along to your friends. This is free. This is free informational webinar. This is not where you're going to resolve your doing your motions and filing stuff. Okay. If you want that, you're on the wrong call. If you've never been through this informational session and you want that, you have to take this informational session. Okay. So it's imperative that you stick to it. Believe you me, some of us had this child support issue for years, and you're going to be asked just to stay for an hour here or a little bit longer, but it's going to be pertinent information, especially if you've given us the information in that chat box. All right. Now, again, I'm the host. I'm the men's life coach. I'm the CEO and founder, the president, the principal life coach of Friends of Fathers. I want to make sure you're in the right place because I am very knowledgeable about the family court system. I'm also a paralegal. I have a paralegal company. I'm hired by a number of different attorneys as an expert to help them draft the documents and motions and complaints and sue people. I do all of that, okay? But I want to make sure you guys are in the right place tonight. If you have the following areas, you're in the right place. If you have child support payments, if you have back child support issues, if you have a bench warrant, if you have custody or parenting time or any FOC issues, you guys probably this month, for anyone who has back child support and your address is up to date, or if it's at your mother's house or someone else's house, you receive a state tax offset letter. And that is basically letting you know the government is saying, when you file your taxes, we're going to intercept them and take whatever it is and justify the amounts. So therefore, your child support fees balance will go down according to what we collect. So if you got a refund check coming for $9,000, like I had one year, and they took it. They never took no more doggone refund check from me anymore. However, that's another FOC issue. The other thing is that we want to know who we are. Who is Friends of Fathers, and what do we do? Well, Friends of Fathers has become a virtual coaching and educational company that assists fathers and families with navigating their way through the child support and the friend of the court system. Okay. I tell you something, I can teach on that systems because we're caught up in it with the child support system. But I want to show you how to address those areas. Who is Friends of Fathers? Like I said in the beginning, our motto, just like Burger King, I want to make it my way. Well, our motto is to basically educate the fathers, okay, strengthen the men and empower the fathers, okay, strengthening men. And I say strengthen because a lot of fathers that I have dealt with over the 15 years I've been in business, they have been beaten down, downtrodden, lack of knowledge, don't know what to do, or thought they knew what to do, went in there to take care of it. And it's like they're just weak. They're just done. I don't want to deal with this anymore. However, my job is to help strengthen you and empower you to be the fathers that you need to be to address the life issues when it comes to child support. And how I do that is with my company mission. My company mission is to educate you, advocate, and provide resource services for fathers to enhance the quality of life in their homes and their communities. Now, I say in homes and communities because, hey, if you get a knock on the door and you think that might be the police or something because of the friend of the court or child support, you want to make sure that you are able to address those issues properly. Okay, this affects your home. You could be like me, having a blended family, or married again and no children, and the friend of the court is intercepting my check, my bank account, my check, a number of different things. Okay, and Pamela, make sure you're admitting individuals in, please. Now, we want to make sure you guys are educated in this area, because it hurts not only just your house, it hurts the community. A lot of our fathers, we have gone through so many things. Some of us are recovering addicts, we come home, returning citizens, or we've had jobs and now we're working underneath the table. Now our money's not being taxed. So when Social Security comes, or worse than that, before Social Security can come, you get disabled and you don't have any money that you paid into the state so that they can actually help provide you when you until you're able again. So some guys don't even have any disability. And a lot of people have, that check, I think is 830 something now. It used to be 731, where it's a indigent check, a SSI. But we want to be able to qualify for the SSD, because sometimes when you qualify for that and you got minor children, your child support, they can pay the child support amount. That's a whole nother program by itself. I don't know if y'all know that. But FOF services includes individual coaching, which is another service that I provide, and preparing the plan of action. Now, guys and ladies, what I mean by plan of action is your 1, 2, 3 step. We're going to talk about it a little bit more in detail. So if you're taking down notes, write down POA, which is plan of action. And some of these from the plan of action, you'll be able to go to the next step, which is the educational webinar. The educational webinars is based on, like, if you have to file a motion to change parenting time. Well, that's a whole different motion than what Joe Farley had, and his kids are grown. I don't have no parenting time issues. What I have is they taking all my money. So that's back child support. So we do a back child support webinar and parenting time, child support reduction, a number of things, change of custody, and also divorce as well. Okay, so we're going to talk to you about that as well. Okay, and other family life issues. Now, our vision, when you're done with us educating you, our hopes is that you will become self-sufficient and supportive to your children and your families. Now, we say children and families because some fathers have more than one child by more than one mother, but all of the children are considered his one family. Now, I don't know many of you know anything about the Bible, but Jacob had over 3 or 4 different women and 12 sons in there. Okay, I think he had also a daughter. But the key thing is that they were considered his one family. So they can't charge me $600 for little Joseph Jr. And then when I get little Sarah, and all of a sudden they trying to charge me another $600. I ain't got that many $600. They have to base it on my income and base it on the mother's income. I just gave you a great helpful hint and tip. Please allow my child support to be based off of my income and the mother's income. My income and the mother's income. A lot of us don't know to say that, okay? I ain't saying everyone does not, but a lot of us don't. So the typical client barriers that a lot of my fathers have faced are the following. They say, man, I want to take care of this, but I can't pay attorney fees. It's over $25, $2,500 or $3,500. It can be even more sometimes. I have trouble, man, understanding or trusting people with my information. Okay. Well, Friends of Father is a legitimate company. We have our EIN. We're filed with the federal government for a corporate ID in the state. So we are a legitimate organization. And my experience is very vast. I am considered, after having 10 years of working in this area, I'm called a SPE, which is an experienced expert in a particular field. And that's on family law. And I'm very good at it. And my company is as well. So I get experienced people to help me to do the thing that we do. And some of the barriers is that they feel risky. It's like, man, I might end up in jail. Okay. Well, we show you how to address that. That's one of the most important things. Whenever you talk to the friend of the court, don't ever go down there to the front of the court. I don't care what county it is. Don't go up and all of a sudden you got to come into Jesus kind of feeling like, today I'm going to get my stuff taken care of. I'm going to go down here to the front of the court. And you're going to go down there and they have a bench warrant from 1990 or early 2000s, and then they got to lock you up. Okay. No, you want to make sure you follow this helpful hints and tips that I have, which is called my most important questions. And that's something that you'll receive if you move forward on their plan of action. Okay. Sometimes the guys also feel intimidated by the court. process. I tell you, especially for the ladies that's on here for their brother or their husband or family membership, I always make sure I talk to that man. That man has to have the ability to take care of his own business. It's okay to have a support system. Hell, I started this company with this young lady, man, she was fine. And she ended up being my girlfriend. Now she's my wife. Praise the Lord. So you got to have a good support system, okay? And that woman could be someone like my wife, and she helped me through it. And she also kind of, you know, jig me with a stick every time because sometimes I didn't take care of this child support, and it caused some issues between us because I didn't have the money that I need to survive and take care of the house. They were taking the money, and I couldn't even take care of my house bills. I know some of the men feel that. Now, the other barriers that men have is the motions. Man, they're confusing to fill out. Well, we got you covered on that as well. Now, some specific problems that clients do have as well is that child support takes too much money, man. They're taking all my money. I go and get a new job. They take half my paycheck. And after taxes of 22, 23% here in the state of Michigan, that money is leaving me with 37% on the dollar. That means it's $100. I get $37 out of every $100 that I make. That's not a lot of money. And some of my men end up going back to dealing with underneath the table kind of pay. And again, that's not going to be good for you. Some of them say, I can't even live, man. I'm living with my mother. You know, I can't even pay my bills. Like I was a challenge at the time early on when I started the business. I wasn't able to pay all my bills. And my girlfriend helped me out, you know, and sometimes we get tired of having to do that. The mother, in reference to parenting time, won't let me see my child or my children. Okay. I'll show you how to address that as well. And the fear of going to jail. Man, there's nothing worse than having the fear to go to jail. I had an attorney that was getting ready to graduate some years ago to get his law degree, but if he had a bench warrant put on himself or he had back child support, he was not going to get his law degree. So he called me and I helped him to address that issue with my coaching services. And yes, bench warrants. That's another specific problem that most men have. And I don't know if you guys know this, some of you probably have experienced this, is freezing of my bank account. That means that they put a lien on my bank account. I just got my job 2 months in, all of a sudden I get good and I get a profit sharing check from Chrysler or whatever the new company's name or whatever. And then they levy the doggone account. Guys, you got to know how to take care of these steps and no more running away from it. Now, these are most other problems that we have is that sometimes I'm unemployed or I have a low paying job and I'm still paying the money like I was working when I was making $20 or $30 an hour. But anytime your finances change, finance can change because you have less money that you're making an hour because the job shut down. And a lot of people have experienced that with this pandemic, okay? Also, the mother interferes with my parenting time. So I don't get a chance to, in a sense, raise my children and they don't have my input. And now I don't have a say, but the court order says I do. That's another helpful hint and tip. Always get a copy of your court order. You need it, okay? It's not that you won't pay, it's that I can't pay the FOC because I don't have enough money. And then another thing is fail to attend the first court hearing. And now they have a default order. A default order means that you forfeited. You didn't show up. You didn't know. She probably gave them the wrong address or whatever. You didn't follow the process. You didn't show up. And that can actually get you to a default. And a default could be, she told them that you made $5,000. She told them that you don't want to have to do with the children. That's why you're not here. Now you don't have any parental rights. So it's a lot of things that basically you go through that you can address, and then you should do it in the beginning. Don't run away from it. As a matter of fact, they cannot lock you up on the front end of a case. Okay, that's the most reason why most guys don't want to go to court, because they don't want to get locked up, or they don't want to pay child support. Okay, I show you how to deal with that. Now, what are our clients' pain points? Well, we kind of said it before. I don't want to go to jail. They take 50% of my income. I don't have enough money to pay. I can't even buy a car, you know? And then if you do, or if you are able to buy a car, you're buying a car on a high interest rate, like 14, 10% on the doggone interest rate. So it's costing you more money, even though you pay child support, because you got back child support and you're in arrears of $150 or more, or 2 months worth of back child support. Now that's going to go on your credit report. Now that's going to put them in the position of sending you out that letter that says state tax refund preset, pre-offset notice. You get that in the mail every September 3rd. It generates in the system. Everybody across the United States are getting it because they're letting you know, I'm going after your money, okay, your tax refunds. And of course, some of us didn't even get our stimulus check. And I remember that time in 2008 and 2009 when George Bush was the president and uh, Obama, Barack Obama became the president. 2 years right behind each other. They had $200 stimulus check and a $300 stimulus check. I ain't getting neither one of them. But praise the Lord, when they got that $1,200 this back in 2020, Joe Farley got his. And the next one they came back with that, I guess it was what, $1,600 or $2,100 the next year. Man, now I don't even have to worry about it. I get it because I've addressed the issues, just like I helped some of these guys here today. Now, what's the desired outcome? Our clients' pain points and desired income outcomes is this: I don't have to pay, or I don't have to worry about no more bench warrant for child support. You know, you can get a bench warrant, get put in jail, get arrested on Wednesday or Thursday night, and on Friday the judge is not there. Now you're staying over through the weekend. And if it's a holiday Monday, you don't get out until Tuesday. And if you miss your pay, your job for 3 days and no show, then you'd have lost your job. There's a way to address all of these pains, okay? And I have helped many fathers to address this particular issue. Now you're able to pay your bills. Now you can buy your car. Now you can get your tax refund. Now you can get your own stimulus check as well, okay? I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that can happen to help you address your particular issues when it comes to navigating through the child support system. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, when you address your back child support and it gets off your credit report, now your credit report scores are higher. Man, I am so glad I took care of this issue. I understood all of the different issues that it's addressing in my life. Now my credit score is where it should be and is getting better all the time. And that's what I help guys with as well. And get my passport. Now my wife wanted to go to Mexico, and I can go to Mexico. Before I had to worry about just doing a trip on because here in Michigan, we can use the enhanced card and travel on the cruise ship, but we can't fly. Okay, we can't take a train because you need your passport. But now, man, I can travel anywhere in the world. I want to make sure you guys have the same privileges. So what makes Friends of Fathers different? Well, some of our clients, he says, why do my clients want to, why do our clients want to get, deal with their children, be involved with their children? Well, one is simply that when I'm involved, I can actually have a say with my children. And I can also now make decisions and have the ability with my children as well. So what I'm saying here is that when you have joint legal custody, now you have a right in reference to the decision making for education, which is school, health, which is medical, and religion. That means that if my child, I want them to be a Catholic or whatever, and she wants them to be a Muslim or whatever the religion aspects will be, I have a say in. And if anytime you guys disagree with it, then the court, you have to file a motion so the judge can help make a decision, because the two parents that's over this child, this human being's life, y'all can't make a decision. So now a third party, a court, going to make a decision that's supposedly be in the best interest of the child. I just finished a court hearing with an attorney with one of the law offices with one of my fathers in reference to this. Want to feel like a man again. That's how the guys feel like, geez, now I feel like a man again. You know, I can also, I have money in, in their check, in their paycheck. I ain't taking all of it. Now I can buy my girlfriend something. I can buy my woman something, my wife, okay, and my other children. I have money left over. I have money left over to do anything out of my paycheck. And that's what's important for us as men. We want to feel good about what we do. We work all them hours and we barely have any money to go to the next for the next week. Now, what what is Friends of Fathers, or FOF, which is Friends of Fathers, going to do for you? Well, we're going to educate you about the child support and the friend of the court system. Now, I told you there's a difference. Friend of the court is who basically enforces what the rules of the child support system. So, friend of the court is when you go to court. Okay, child support is the criteria that you must follow, and you got to have a law, some enforcer to make sure that you follow the child support system. And that's the friend of the court. That's the judge. That's the referee. That's the when they send out a bench warrant so that you can be detained and get arrested. Now, this also can be where you're being charged as a felony non-support. Okay, that's huge, dude. I mean, that means that you can actually get 4 years in prison or on probation. 4 years as a felon, like I done sold some drugs, or I've got a gun charge, or I'm killing somebody. And it's all because I let the amount of the back child support grow greater than $10,000. And the child is under 20 years of age. I think it's actually 21, 24 years of age. Okay, it used to be 18, but now they pushed it out. So if you owe that amount and you're not paying, and you've been avoiding coming to court, and you don't go to court at all, now they can put a felony on you. Now, there's some other tricks and trades that the mothers can do. I'm not going to discuss that right now. So we can do that in the private meetings that we have. But also, we teach you on how to reduce or eliminate your back child support payments, and or eliminate the whole balance. Okay. Now, we also help you feel free and alive again and get your dignity back. So why do I need FOF services? Well, most of us need it because of the lack of understanding of the friend of the court and the child support system, the threats of going to jail, the loss of my job. Okay, to help create a co-parenting plan for the ones who need to have custody and co-parenting with the mother. Okay, you guys have to raise the children together. She doesn't get the right, or he doesn't get the right, to raise the child without the other parent, unless there is a legal action in place. Okay, so that's another issue as well. And most of you know your personal situation. So now, why would I want FOF services? Well, first of all, to understand what fathers go through. That's what I do. I understand what you go through. I'm also a minister in reference to men's ministry in our church, and been men's ministry as long as I've been doing this business. As a matter of fact, the Friends of Fathers company was developed out of my men's ministry on Father's Day back in 2006. Don't tell me God can't do something to turn your whole life around. I was already making $100,000 plus, traveling throughout the United States, selling fiber technology with the major companies at those times, and I was making money. I was good. But then I heard God say, "You're going to have to go in here and help these guys," because I went to court in 2006 in November, and I had to go there because I had my job. I went back to work after being unemployed, and they took 50% of my income. And I said, "No, this ain't going to happen." And when I went to court and I went before those people, I had all my stuff together. And I saw so many guys, and this is a threat. Now, this is doing a show calls, guys. I had on a show calls that, hey, if you don't show up, we're going to put a bench warrant on them. It didn't get to the bench warrant step because I showed up. So that's what you got to do. When you get a show cause, you go to the show cause with all the answers about your situation. And yeah, some of us has ducked and dived, duck and dive away from the situation, but you can't run from this, because then you get a bench warrant. I don't care if you go to Kentucky. If you run the red light in Kentucky, they can see your bench warrant in Michigan. Okay, if they really wanted to get down to it. So you want to address this stuff before they put a bench warrant out on you like you're a criminal. Also, Friends of Fathers can help you get your kids back. I've helped fathers get their children back. I helped the guy go to Tennessee. I helped the guy go to Atlanta to get his child back, to give him his first haircut. This stuff is not just about the money. It's about men. Men are fathers too. Okay. That is one of my slogans. Fathers are parents too. It's just not the mother. You can't raise these kids without the fathers. Now, what will motivate me to go forward? So I'm talking to you guys. What will motivate you guys? Okay. Some of the things that some of the fathers said, hey, I have a desire to see my children without the mother interfering. I want to be a part of the decision-making process for my kid, education and spiritual development in the medical and health areas. Having someone to talk to about my child support issues. That's what Friends of Fathers does. Okay. Knowing that there is an end to the child support system. I tell you guys, my children, they're 33, 34 right now. But I tell you, when I got divorced in 1994, it was heartbreaking for me, heartbreaking. And I felt that this woman had a bond over my head. I had to pay over $1,278 every month for child support. And that's because of the kind of money I was making. However, it felt like she had a noose over me or something. But there is an end, and she no longer gets this money from me anymore. My current wife does. Not just kidding. So I spend my money on what I want to spend it on, but mostly on my wife now and my children So again, man, it's an end date. This stuff ends. This don't last forever. Now, the virtual services that Friends of Fathers offers, let's go over that real quick. The virtual coaching webinars. Friends of Fathers provide coaching and training webinars to men, biologically and legally identified as fathers, okay, who have fallen behind in their child support payments, and to women. Now, I've helped some women as well. We're not against women at all. It's a process that most men don't know how to navigate. That's why a majority of our fathers or clients are fathers. We have a small percentage of women that we've helped as well. We're not against any parent. We're for what is right for the fathers, and most of all, for what's in the best interest, okay, for the children. What's in the best interest is the model for the friend of the court, whether you believe it or not. But that's when we sometimes use that in our motion statement. What's in the best interest for the child or children? Now, to the women who must also learn how to navigate through the child support system in order to become current in their payments and receive their payments, okay? Because some of us fathers got their children. I had a new client last week, have the child with them over 2 years. The mother it has the child with him, but now he has over probably $7,000 in back child support, and they sent out that letter. And he's like, how do I take care of this? And the first thing that has to happen is that we got to stop having them charge you. Don't just take the children. Do what Joe Farley did, Coach Joe Farley. When my 16-year-old daughter was sent to me, matter of fact, the mother wanted to put her out. They lived in Florida when she was 16 years of age. And I said, no, you send my baby to me, okay? And I got my baby, and I filed a motion to change the child support order so I can have physical custody and stop the child support, okay? So there's a number of different things that you guys have to do or should have done. Okay, so here's that POA. The plan of action. The plan of action is designed to create an assessment of your child support case. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, most of you are going to move forward on doing this, but you have to follow the directions. And my directions are very simple. Okay, all you have to do is ask the questions and get my answers or get your answers. So therefore, you will be able to get the information that's going to be helpful for you to complete a motion, okay? And other related documents. We're going to help you do all of that, but you got to follow the steps. That's why I'm a men's life coach. So I just tell you like it is. I'm just going to tell you the real deal. So therefore, you don't have any misunderstanding. And all of these things are done in writing, okay? So you'll have all the documentation. Just like you see my screen right now, that plan of action webinar, I'm going to show you step by step, give you the information based on the information you give me, and we're going to share that information on the screen, and you will have everything completed so you can file your motion. And some of us, the motion is going to be free, but some of us have to pay $20. Some might have to pay 60. Okay. If you're trying to change custody or change parenting time, you got to pay 100. But if you are on a situation of unemployment or disability or something like that, they can waive those fees. My God, there's a lot of good stuff that you can do. Now, so what is it? What is included in creating the plan of action? Well, you're going to receive a written plan of action. Okay. That can be anywhere from 5 to 6 pages of information, depending on your situation. Some of us fathers have one case and some have as many as 6 or 7. Okay. You're going to get a copy of FOF, most important questions. Okay. That's never asked. You guys don't know what to ask sometimes. And sometimes you do, but then you're frustrated, or the customer service people are frustrated with you. But I'm going to tell you, if you answer these or ask these, the friend of the court, these questions, and these are customer care people. So they're not people that make decisions. They might give their opinion. Well, you don't listen to that. You just make sure you get your answer. Okay. And then it's going to specifically give you a list of what motions you will need to complete for your issues. So you'll know, for example, if you have an arrears, okay, Deshaun, I hope you're listening. If you have an arrears, you want to file the motion. If it's have money that's owed to the mother, you want to file a motion for Wayne County for 4030. It's a form, okay? I'm not going to give too much information because I don't want you to take this information and then wrongfully apply it, okay? That's why when you do the POA, I know what you need, so you don't get the wrong information. Don't get excited over here, okay? So I'm just trying to give you helpful hints and tips. And then we're going to get specific information that you need to be written on your motion. One of them, I already gave the helpful hint and tip, but you have to know how to apply it. That's very important, very important. Now, so what we're going to do is go to my next slide here. And now, after the motion, the plan of action, which is the POA, you have an opportunity, and it is an opportunity, to go to our motion completion webinar. Maybe you just didn't pick it all up the way it needs to be picked up. And you say, nah, Joe, I want to go further into your program and do the webinar where the motion itself will be completed. In the plan of action, guys, you're going to get all of this. That's the plan of action. Creating the plan of action webinar. It's about maybe 2 hours long, okay? And then the motion completion webinar, same amount of time, but it's going to be a little easier because you're going to carry your information from the POA onto the motion completion webinar, okay? So if you have arrears to discharge and abate, that's a request to discharge or abate payments for a child over 18 years of age and that has emancipated. Now, what that means is that some kids are not 18 when they graduate in June for their, finish their education. The child support system, the child support payments, they end at the age of 18 or when the child graduates, whichever one is later. So my daughter, she graduated, she was 17 years of age. They were able to continue. She turned 17 in February. She graduated in June. Mom could have continued the child support when she turned up until she turned 18. But because she graduated early, and I just say, hey, she graduated. They stopped the child support payments. Mom didn't say anything. I wouldn't call her either because I wasn't paying no more money unless I had to. So I'm just trying to tell you something. So the other thing is that arrears back child support payment. These are arrears you can ask for a payment plan on. We have had guys, and I'll show you a couple of testimonies in just a moment, that have paid a payment plan of $25 a month for 24 months, which is a total, if you multiply that, of $600. $600, once that person paid that $600, then he files a motion to discharge and abate the case. Now he can pay for that, which I have a lot of my guys who do. They pay for that $600 way before 2 years, okay? And they'll take it out of your paycheck. But you can't miss these payments. But if you miss these payments, it's retroactive and it starts all over and you're back in the hole again. So you got to pay it off. And some guys pay it off in 90 days, 60 days. okay? Or sometimes 6 months, a little longer. And we also do a motion complete. Now, these are motion completion webinars. You get the right motion, you get the right information that needs to be on those motion in that webinar. The change of custody. Like I said about the young man who has the child with him, but yet and still he didn't change the custody. We show you how to deal with that as well. So now you are the parent where the child physically lives with you and you're considered the custodial parent. Okay. So what that means is that that child is rapidly or with you on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Not with you and you're dropping the child off at mom's and the child goes to sleep at mom's house. No, that child lives with you majority of the time. That's when you want to change the custody. And maybe you don't, like he didn't. Parenting time. There's a motion for parenting time because some of us don't have in writing how much and when we supposed to see our child. And now you may go on and got a beautiful wife like myself, and now the baby mama drama starts, where now, oh, you driving up in your doggone Eddie Bauer, and you driving on and got your new house and everything. No, you ain't seeing your kids this week. Okay, but I had a court order, so I was able to go get my kids along with the police. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Well, that's what I've done, and some people may need to do that. Okay, but I didn't have that much of a problem after that. Now, child support modification. Anytime you have a child that's under 18 and your financial situation has changed, I don't care if you have the same job, and but your girlfriend or your fiance or your wife is pregnant and she has a baby, your financial situation just changed. I'm sure I can get an amen out of that. So now you have another child to take care of. That means there's less money that has to go out to the other cases. So that's something that you can also file a motion for. And some of our services deal with coaching session. Like some of our fathers, I see some names that's on here. You're joining the call. You're gonna need a coaching session. So therefore, there's a fee for that coaching services. You just contact the office. Let me give you our office number again. That number is 313-983-0044. That's 313-983-0044. And you most likely will get in touch with my call center or Pamela. Now, you can also text that number as well. Okay. So if you need coaching services, that's something that you're going to receive as well. Role play. Let me show you what the role play is. If you're part of this webinar, and sometimes I do it in the plan of action, but the role play is this. Whenever you go into court, a lot of people get nervous, okay? The key thing is if you get nervous, like they used to teach us in my speech class, yeah, everyone gets butterflies, but just line them up in the formation and then just boom, boom, boom. All you have to do is the 1, 2, 3 step, read what's on your motion, record what is on your motion, and play it back as your favorite top 10, 5, top 3 song for the next 3 weeks until your court date. You listen to it so you can recite it like you know the Pledge of Allegiance, okay, or your Lord's Prayer. You gonna know what your motion is, because when the judge comes in and they say, "All rise," is Mr. and Mrs. Farley here? And first thing you'll say, "Yes, I'm here." And then they're going to say, okay, I see a motion is here for a modification for the child support or parenting time or custody or whatever 1, 2, 3 is. And they'll say yes. And then all of a sudden, your wife or your ex-wife or your girlfriend or her attorney might start to talk, but you filed the motion. Oh, the first thing you say is, no, excuse me, Your Honor. I filed this motion. So I believe I'm supposed to speak first, so we can know why we're here. Okay. Because see, the judge or the attorney in the other side, they know what they want. I don't want no one speaking until I have spoken. I'm the one that paid the $20, the $60, the $100 for the motion. So you ask to be speaking first. Okay. I'll give you more helpful hints and tips on that. And therefore, you know what to say and do. And all you do is read it. And if you get nervous, you're just telling Your Honor, hey, I had a guy who was a stutterer, and he couldn't speak it clearly. And I told him, you let her know, ma'am, I have a speech impediment, and I stutter my words, and I read my motion, and you read it 1, 2, 3, and they have to listen because they have to read it into court while we're all here. Okay. Also, we deal with the bench warrants because sometimes you got to file a motion to deal with that bench warrant because you didn't know that you got it because it went to your mother's address, got it late, or what have you. Okay, you weren't even in the country during that time. Documentation preparation and the motion filing. We show you how to do all of that in this motion completion webinar. So we're going to go through our testimonies and we're going to ask. I'm going to look at your questions, but I have time to do perhaps one or two, I'm going to do probably 3 questions, okay? Answer some of these questions live tonight. Now, here's a change of custody guide, okay? He was a father of this child. They didn't have no court order. He was practicing his parenting time religiously. The mother lived in Chicago. He lived in Detroit. And literally, the mother called him one weekend and said, hey, next weekend will be your last weekend with our baby girl because my job has moved me to Tibet. That's another country, guys. But he didn't have a court order to say, no, you cannot. So what we did, we helped and coached him to get a motion in there, or actually no, to start a case. So therefore he can get his custodial rights and his parenting time. And now that gentleman here has 50% custody. The mother went along and went on to the back. He allowed it and agreed. And they made an agreement that she'll have him have the baby during the school time, and then he'll have him the latter part of the summer after school. So they ended up with having joint physical and joint legal custody with no child support. So that's the guy that we help with custody and parenting time. This is a gentleman who had back child support. We got a payment plan for him for $25 a month for 24 months, $25 a month for 24 months, which is 2 years. And now he was free to do what he needed to do because he qualified for the payment plan. And once he qualified, he got that payment plan and he started doing that payment plan. He paid it off in 60 days or so. And then now he was able to get that wiped off his credit. He was able to get his tax refund. And now when he applies for a business loan, which he did for to start up his business, his credit scores were good enough to get the money from the bank. Man, it's a lot that's tied up into your child support. So we helped a lot of guys. Here's a guy, he had over 3 or 4 different mothers with 3 or 4 different cases with over $200,000 of back child support payments owed. Every time he got a job, they took 50% of his income. And we were able to get some of this money waived and discharged and forgiven. Now the guy has no more arrears dealing with this child support issues. So I want to be able to help you guys so that you can decide what you want to do in reference to moving forward. Now, some of you, I want you to do this. Do this quick question for me. How much do you think that our company should charge you to use our services to help you address these issues that you have? Go ahead, put it in the chat. I'm going to turn on the chat. Go ahead, put it in the chat. How much you think you should be paying? Okay, I don't see nobody responding. I think everybody say 0. I'm gonna say 0. Anybody, can y'all get to y'all chat? Okay, I got one response from Amy. How much you think you should pay? Okay, I got a couple responses. Okay. Now, if you have 40,000, 60,000, you know your situation. You got your children, you need parenting time, blah, blah, blah. How much you think you should have to pay to address your child support? How much would you have to pay an attorney? I think I already shared that with you guys. Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. Never did that question before on a live video, but I wanted to make sure I know where you guys' mindset is. And believe you me, as a men's life coach, I will bring you to the reality of the what they call Wayne's world, but this is Friends of Father's world and your world, because we want to address these issues so you can feel free again. Now, with our services, how this will work is this. You'll have to register and pay for your services, okay? And that service is going to be a plan of action webinar, okay? Now, I have a few limited seats available and I have to confirm the time. This webinar is going to be next Monday night. Next Monday night. Okay. And I have space for about 4 or 5, maybe 6 individuals physically at my location in Detroit. Okay. That will be to the first 4 or 5 individuals who will register. You can come in the facility, and I'm doing a minimum because of the COVID environment and things that's for the space distance as well, the social distance. We still basically follow that. So I'm going to show you how to register tonight. Okay. Now I'm going to answer 1 or 2 questions. And matter of fact, let me also tell you how much it's going to cost. So the first thing you need to do, the first step is to register. And in the process, you'll know what your fee will be, and it's going to be creating that plan of action. Everybody remember the POA, okay? That's going to be designed to gather your detailed information from you guys in order to determine their particular needs. So you might have back child support, okay? And you might be filing taxes with your wife now, and she's not the person that you owe child support with, okay? So I show you how to helpful hints and tips in that plan of action, okay? That webinar fee actually is $295, but because you're here today, you would actually just pay $250. So you're going to save about $47 on this particular program. I'm going to put this in the link, okay? I'm going to put this in the chat to everyone, and you can click on that link and you can go to a checkout page. Let me show you how it works. I believe everyone can see my screen, and Pamela, you can come back on and let me know if you can hear me and if you can see the link.
I can hear you, and I can see the link as well.
Okay, great. So guys, this is our private links area. What you would do is basically fill it out, create your own password, okay? And once you do your password, it would actually get you to your membership, okay? And that membership, you'll let us know, filling out all your contact information, let us know what county you're in, not the one you live in, but your case is in. Then you're going to pay via PayPal checkout. Oh, it says this is required. Okay, I didn't put in the state of Michigan. So let me put in the state of Michigan here. And then I got that, and then I'll push that link. And then it's going to send you to, if you already have a PayPal account. But if you don't worry. You'll pay with a debit card or credit card. And then that would go directly to our company. And that's the amount right here. And then you're signed in as a guest, and they'll take your billing information, and then it would actually go ahead and process. Once it's processed, then it comes directly to our company, and then you will get a email, which is going to be your 1, 2, 3 step on the next step that you have to get done before the end of the week. Okay. So we want to make sure that you get those things done. Now, let me go back here, get out of this one here, and we're back to the screen. Now, if that is something that you want to do, like I said, you'll get this screen here, and you'll basically be able to log in and get registered. Okay. Yep. And if you're in Texas, but you have a case in Michigan or any other state, we can also help you as well. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure that everyone is muted, and everyone is. So that was you, Pam, and you can mute yourself. I appreciate it. All right. Now, I want to open up the floor. Okay. I have a time for, look at my time here. I have time to answer a couple of questions. I want to start off with Miss Barbara. Is it Oxner?
That's correct.
Okay, great. And you're on this call for whom?
For my son.
Okay. Now, what is the question and concern that he has? What's the reason? first of all, how did you guys find out about Friends of Fathers?
My daughter Amy told me.
Oh, okay. And Amy's on the call too, right?
Yes.
All right, all right. The women's night now. The Rise of the Women. They say Women's King movie coming out.
My son is actually on the phone he's listening.
Oh, wonderful. What's his question? What do you need help with?
Well, he's been paying back child support. When he was working, he paid his child support regularly. When he became disabled, he could not pay the child support, so it has accumulated over the years. And the two children live in, they were in Michigan, but they are adults. And the youngest is 24 years old,
Okay.
and they take at least 75% of his check.
Of his disability check?
Of his disability, his Social Security disability is the only income he has. So he has less than $500 a month to live off of.
Okay, all right. And how many cases is it?
It's two children, so it's one case, the same wife.
Same mother.
Same mother.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so yeah, this would definitely, with your support with him as well, this would definitely help him in reference to the plan of action. And we got to take some steps right away because it could be something that can be done sooner than later. However, we have to go through the process because if he's getting a state check every month, what state do you guys live in? We live
in Ohio.
Ohio. What case? Where is the case at? Is it also in Ohio?
The case is in Wayne County.
It is in Wayne County. Okay, great. Okay, so it's a case in Wayne County. Dad lives in Ohio. Yeah.
Dad lives in Ohio.
Yep, Dad lives in Ohio.
And we were hoping for some kind of forgiveness because we've heard of people getting that. His seems to be going up instead of down.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that he may qualify for. That's why we do the plan of action. That's why right now I'm only I want to make sure what category the individuals are interested in, and then going through the plan of action and the most important questions that we're going to give you. So if you were to pay for it tonight, within 24 hours, you get the list of questions, you get those answers. Now you're going to be ready for Monday night. Okay, so that's what's going to be important. So we get specific in what he needs to do. Okay, again, just to let everyone know, again, I'm not an attorney. I don't practice law, nor do I give legal advice, but I can educate you on that process. And I've helped thousands of fathers since 2007 when we started this company. So that is wonderful. I look forward to hopefully helping your son. Okay. And what I need you to do right away, if you can, go to our telephone number, text us your son's first and last name, and let us know if you're looking to move forward, and then we can move from there. Okay.
Okay, that 313 number you gave?
Yes, ma'am. It's 313-983-0044. Okay.
004?
Yes, 44.
44.
Yes, ma'am. And it should be in the chat. As a matter of fact, I'll make sure. Or
okay, because I think I wrote it in my notes. Yeah.
Okay, good. There it is again. And
I got the number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, family. I love it. I love it. All right. Let me go to another caller, another person here. I appreciate you. Now, let's see here. We have, let's see. Is it Charles Berry? Mr. Berry?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm blessed today. How did you find out about Friends of Fathers tonight?
Well, actually, knew about you guys for years. I've been paying child support since 2004, man. I've been knowing about you guys for a few years. I've just been too ignorant to take care of my business, man.
I hear you. I appreciate the honesty because, again, that's how we free ourselves, man. So I'm looking forward to helping you address the issue. What county is your case in?
It's in Wayne County.
Is it Wayne County? Okay. Wonderful, Wayne County. All
Yeah,
right. And let's see, is this for arrears, back child support?
yeah.
Okay, great. And how many cases is it? How many moms?
Two. It's two.
Okay, just two. And what's the total amount of the arrears that's owed?
It's a total like, well, I got the paper right here. It's total
Do you have that state tax offset letter?
paper right here.
Uh-huh.
It's $3,145.
Okay.
That's for both. One case is for 2,055 and one case for 1,090.
Okay. And it, are you reading from that state tax offset letter they sent out on September 3rd?
State tax refund pre-offset notice.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. All right. Great.
And it says both for TANF for TANF.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the both of them are TANF. So
Yep.
one is a non-TANF
Yep.
and one is a TANF. So
Yep.
anything underneath the non-TANF,
Mm-hmm.
any money on the non-TANF?
Yeah, it says that's the non-TANF total. Says 3145.
Okay, wonderful. And are they taking money out of your check or your employee right now? Will they take money from you?
Yep. Taking out now, yep.
Okay.
Since 2004.
Wow. How much are they taking out?
Like,
Listen,
I'm gonna say like maybe about almost 300.
okay. You want to get rid of this.
Yeah, I'm about done.
Yeah, you really are done. You keep on paying for 10 more payments, you'd be done.
Yeah.
But look, if you can eliminate it, you can put that money on yourself, your kids, your grandkids, your whomever. Okay.
My kids is 30, man. My kids is grown, man.
Right. Your kids is just as old as mine. So I
Yeah.
do understand. So I think that is something that we can definitely help you on as well. Again, if you're interested in moving forward, the information is in the chat here.
Mhm.
We already have it on here, and you can just click on that link and use your debit card or credit card.
Mhm.
Then we can actually help you to move forward on addressing your life issue when it comes to this child support. Okay.
Now
All you have to do
look,
is click on that link.
correct. And they were telling me about some motion of 14 something. They said I can go file or something. They were saying.
Mhm. Yep. And I don't want to give you the wrong information. That's why I do the plan of action to make
Okay.
sure the information is accurate. Okay.
Right.
I just put that link back in the chat. And
Okay.
you can go and register from there.
You
Okay?
say the end of the week?
No, you need to do it before the end of the week because come Friday, you won't have the information.
Now that's when I'll get paid, man.
That's all right. Do what you do and
Yeah.
let us know what you're doing. So therefore we can be properly prepared because we
Okay.
don't want you coming to the party. You ain't bringing nothing to the party.
Right. Well, I'm definitely, yeah, I know how you gotta eat. Everybody gotta eat. So
Everybody gotta eat. That's right. Yeah, for sure. And you do too. So we want to make sure you eat a little bit better. And
Yes, sir.
saving all this money too.
Yes, sir.
I wish we did you sooner. But that's okay. Now is better than not doing it at all.
Right.
Okay. Now let me go to Mr. Let's see here. Mr. Roper, Owen Roper. Okay. And Pam, choose. Okay, there we go.
All right, here I am.
All right, sir.
Okay.
How'd you find out about us, Mr. Roper?
Well, we've been talking for some years before I had the stroke.
Oh, okay. You're recovering. Good.
Yes. We met through Deacon Jeffrey Knott at World at the church when you when
Triumph?
Yes.
Okay.
So now my biggest thing is I'm down. They froze my bank accounts. And when I was talking to a friend of the court, they said that Wayne County They say I owe 33,000, but Wayne County 12,000 of it goes to Wayne County as a surcharge.
Hmm. Okay.
So I went down there and I got a call on the 27th with the customer service rep.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What is it that you need help with us for?
Well, I didn't know. Well, I guess that would be the correct motion.
I wouldn't know what the correct motion, and that's why I do the plan of action.
Okay, but
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything unless you've done the plan of action, which get my questions answered. And that's what's going to be part of that plan of action webinar.
okay, I'll do it now.
So if you do that, that way you can get into our process so we can work the process.
I got you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if
You said it's 250, right?
yes, it's $250.
Okay.
And I got the link right in here in the chat box, if you can get to your chat box, or if you can contact us at 313-983-0044. That's 313-983-0044. Okay. Our office line.
I got you.
All right. Thank you for giving us a call and giving us an opportunity to serve you. Okay, I'm gonna take one more call, and I believe it's going to be Mr. Is it Miss Iran? I think you were in Ohio, right?
It's Arrow.
Arrow. Okay, great. Arrow. Oh,
How you doing?
I'm blessed, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Now you what county is your case in?
Wayne County.
Oh, it is Wayne County. Okay.
Yeah.
And what area? Is it for a minor child or adult children?
Adult.
Okay. And what is the total arrears that they say you owe?
What is this? Let me see.
You got
50,
that offset letter too?
yeah, they just sent me a letter last week.
Yep.
$50,222.
All right. And is this for one case or multiple cases?
One case.
All right.
No, correction. That's $50,774.
Okay, 700. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I guess they added on something that says $552. I don't know what that's for.
And we're going to find out everything about the case.
Right.
So that's how we do through our plan of action. And are you paying any money towards it now?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I didn't understand why I got this letter.
Okay. You got the letter because the $50,000 is still behind on it. So they're just telling you that, hey, when you file your taxes, we're going to take it unless you can tell us it's a mistake or you address the issue. So
Or if
let me share this with you all.
Okay.
I can't tell you what to do in reference to filing your taxes. However, I can share with you what happened to me. What happened to me, I didn't file my taxes until I addressed this issue. And then once I addressed the issue, now I don't have the friend of the court taking my taxes. So now I get a refund. And I made sure I protected my wife when we filed as joint, being married, filing married and joint taxes here. And I put in what they call, guys, is an injured spouse. Okay. Sometimes people don't want to get married because he owed back child support. They're going to take my taxes when we file our taxes. Well, it is true. However, you just need to file an injured spouse report with it. You ask your tax preparer for it. Okay. So Errol, so basically you have the back child support. They taking out some money right now. How much do they take out per pay period?
$12.25 or $12.50, which is that's not the issue. The issue is, and what you just said, I'm trying to do because I have a lawsuit coming up. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to jump on this
yes,
before
sir.
my settlement.
Yes, sir. My mind.
Yeah.
You talking to the right one there.
Right,
I
right.
help so many guys in reference
And
to addressing this.
yeah, and I don't know if they just passed this. I think I talked to you before, but
Mhm.
I just totaled out my car and they're gonna pay it off, but I don't have the title yet, so they're sending me the title. So I'm gonna stall on that because now they're telling me that they're taking portion of the settlement for the car. I'm like,
Mhm.
how is y'all taking portion of the settlement for the car, and I got to get a new car?
Yeah, yeah.
That's for the insurance.
Well, you can have your own reason, but if they can show you the law, they gonna exercise that law to get their money. There's some
Right.
other things you need to do about that. Okay, I do have an attorney that deals with the financial parts of those things as well. So we might even refer you to him to address that too. Okay,
All right.
because you want to make your hands clean and you want to get everything that you deserve in reference to your lawsuit and pay your bills and all of that. Okay, so I've dealt with so many different issues, guys, and all I can do is educate you and coach you. I can't make you do it. I can't swear by nothing because you got to go through the process. You have to
Right.
go through the process. So I'm going to basically suggest that you guys give us, click the link and go ahead and make the payment, do a debit card or credit card. I'm not even charging you the processing fee that the bank charges us, which is normally 4%. So you're not being charged on that at all. Okay. So I want you guys to, if you're interested in moving forward, don't procrastinate. Don't do that. There are some things that we can help you with that can reduce or eliminate your child support issues when it comes to navigating through the child support system. I'm going to tell you again, I want to thank you all for joining our call today. It has been a privilege and an honor to serve you. And I'm looking forward to talking to some of my dear friends on here. I see some of those names, Shannon on here. Man, we go back, man. We go back. And I got Deshaun on here as well. So guys, you know, to give me a call and give my office call and give me a detailed voice message tonight, Shannon, tonight, Deshaun, on what is your question so I can get the answer to you. Okay. It's imperative. Okay. So again, I want to thank you all for joining our call and I bid you good night.